Hey guys, it's Mr. 100% Gamer here, bringing you part 14 of Let's Play Ratchet Clank, the 100% Guide. And in this part, we'll be going to Jowai Resort, planet Pokitaru. Welcome to the most popular tourist destination in all of the known Solana galaxy, Jowai Resort, planet Pokitaru. One main route on this planet, and also one new weapon, once again. And it is the decoy glove. The decoy glove is not as useful as it becomes in later games, surprisingly. It's one of those weapons where you can get them really cheap or for free in the second game, and that's actually more useful this time, as opposed to the Busy Bomb gun, which becomes absolutely useless. I don't really recommend it, and if you're following along with the guide, you won't have enough money for it anyway, so don't worry about it.
Hey, you two are the first friendly faces I've seen in weeks. You are friendly, aren't you?
To you, yes. To him, no.
Well, friend, have I got a deal for you? Since the Blarg began dumping their toxic sludge into our ocean, the wildlife has,
Become ravenous mutants?
yeah, you could say that. All my customers either left or became lunch. So I'm closing the place down. However, I just so happen to have one, count 'em one, O2 mask left.
How much?
It's not for sale.
But you said...
I said I had a deal, and indeed I do. You boys get rid of those Blarg ships, and it's yours. Just escort me to the other end of this resort, and you can use our jet fighter.
Jet fighter, eh? Alright. But you better not try to stiff us.
You know, it would be a lot easier if we just, hit him and stole it. But there you go, maybe I'm just thinking far too much into this. So, first enemies on the planet you will see are pufferfish, and surprisingly, well, not surprisingly, but uniquely, these are actually enemies that are real. There are actual pufferfish in real life, and I'm pretty sure all of you know that. How many of you have actually seen pufferfish in real life, I have no idea, but if you have seen them, you either vacationed there, or you live somewhere incredibly tropical. These guys are psychopuss, and basically what they are psychic octopus. I mean, those things would fit in brilliant in Pokemon. And I know I'm mentioning Pokemon like every 5 seconds. I'm in a very Pokemon mood. Okay, so best weapon to use here, we're going to get ambushed by pufferfish. So I'd recommend either the Parasita or the Suck Cannon, whichever one you have or whichever one you prefer using. Shoot them out as quick as possible though, because you don't want to get like all ganged up on. Because you don't want to get the barrel loaded like this and you're in trouble. So there you go, see what I mean? You want to try and get them out as quick as possible. And it's not really that difficult, just keep the barrel clean and you can win. And you can win! You can win! I don't know what that means, but you can win. So there you go. Head up here, we've got more pufferfish and psychopuss. These things are all over the place, and that was a bloody good moon jump there. One thing about this planet which is kind of strange to me, strange and unusual to me, is that everybody seems to love the music on this planet. And as you can probably tell, I mean, for those who have seen the All for One Cause trailer and the All for One Cause 2 trailer, the music used for Ratchet Clank in those trailers was actually Pokitaru. I didn't make those trailers, that was made by Christian, I'm not a doctor. Why that music's so popular, I have no idea. I personally think it's incredibly overrated. I don't know why people like it so much. I think there's much better songs in the series. Although one song that I see which is really popular is the Obani Moons songs from Ratchet Clank 3, and I will agree, I love those songs. The Obani Moon songs are brilliant. I can't remember which one it is, if it's Obani Gemini or Obani Draco, but there's one of them which is really good. Both of them are good, but one of them's really good, and I can't remember which one it is. Not going to spoil anything about that though, in case you haven't played Ratchet Clank 3. So, one thing I actually do like about this level though is it's really bright and colourful, because if you've noticed, in the last few parts, we've been playing in levels which are very grey, very dark, very dull, I'm not a big fan of those kind of levels, which is why Insomniac's next series, the one they're currently working on, Resistance, and generally FPSs in general are not my kind of thing, because generally they are all about war and they're all dark colours, greys, blacks, I don't know, dark greens and browns, and you get those kind of colour schemes. And you know, the FPS genre is kind of like the platformer genre was in, I'd say probably about 1999, 2000, where everybody and their dog released a platformer game, which is why when you talk to somebody who's a video game fan on YouTube and they're about my age, or they're about, you know, they're a teenager, it's very likely that they're going to say they grew up with platformers, because back in the day, I'm not going to say it like that, back in the day, all we basically had was platformers. Everyone would release platformers. You had the big ones, you had the Spyros, the Crashes, the Marios, the Raymans, all that. Sonic was somewhat of a platformer, I suppose. I don't really class Sonic as a platformer, but then I don't class Sonic as a game. I'm just being mean. I'm being mean. So there's actually a glitch to do this. I'm just going to show you it. If you stand on top of the windshield, then you can actually just shoot down, and the pufferfish won't be able to hurt you. This is a glitch I learned in a speedrun to beat the game, starting on Pokitaru, which I actually won. So I beat a French guy, an Italian guy, and a Norwegian guy, bringing it home for Britain. So although I don't get that, because it's a whole like, hey, a Scottish guy won, so you know it's Britain, but an English guy won, so it's England. Yeah, but I am actually English, I'm not Scottish. Even though some people seem to think I am Scottish. I mean, somebody once sent me an email. I'm assuming this was a joke. I hope this was a joke. But somebody once sent me a YouTube message saying, "Do you personally know Scottish duck?" I'm not Scottish. I'm near Scotland. I'm not Scottish. So, but yeah. Oh, by the way, I want to notice one thing about him. I love this guy. The reason is, every game now seems to have one of these characters which is like a shady car salesman. And this is the character which is that shady car salesman. The Hawaiian shirt, the open-toed sandals, the shorts, the bling everywhere, the comb over. I mean, he screams used car salesman. He really does. And there's characters like that in every game, you know, the shady guys who wouldn't buy anything off, even if it was like a quid. That's £1 for you who aren't English. Ooh, I'm being mean now. Oh, another trick I learned. This is a good one as well. If you come here and you jump behind this railing, and you just let all the pufferfish come after you. Actually, I'm going to see if the taunter might actually work here. I'm going to try and get all of them to come in. I'm not quite sure if this will work though. So let's try it. Taunter. Yep, here we go. Gonna get all of them in. Okay, then what you want to do is, I've actually accidentally replaced my bomb glove, which is what I wanted to use. Okay, bomb glove. Just shoot it, and you'll take them all out. It is incredibly useful, and that guy will just run off in the background. It's a couple of these tricks I've learned. They're not. That one wasn't a glitch. The other one was kind of a glitch. But from this point onwards, I know a lot of glitches. I mean, I did from Planet Pokitaru to the end of the game in an hour and I think it was 4 minutes or 5 minutes. So I got kind of good at doing the glitches and that. I remember some of the planets I did in like under a minute and stuff like that. Oh no, what? Not under a minute, under like 3 minutes and stuff. So one thing I would say when you're on this planet about the suck cannon is it's really good at destroying these guys. But what I would say is keep the barrel clean, keep it empty, because you don't want to be having the barrel all full up when you're trying to shoot enemies.
We're here. Now where's that fighter?
Right there in that locked garage. One tourist crashes a jet and wham! Lawsuit.
That lock is unlike any I have seen.
Very astute observation, Mr. Shiny. I can't open it either. I don't trust the tourist, and the board of directors don't trust me. So we have a little problem.
We have a little problem. I just want the O2 mask. So if you can't open up the lock, that's your problem. Now cough up the mask.
Well, I can see that you really wanted to fly our jet. So I'll tell you what. Go talk to Bob at his Robo Shack. He knows about these locks.
You'll need to use the special features of a Gadgetron thruster pack to activate this switch. You can find one at Bob's Robo Shack just around the corner.
You know, I did say, didn't I? I did say it would be a lot easier just to hit him and steal it. But no, no, we've got to be the nice guys. So, if you hadn't already guessed by the term Robo Shack, well, I'll just let him tell you yourself. Let's head into Bob's Robo Shack on planet Pokitaru.
Well, what have we got here? Hey, watch it. I recognize that work. Y'all been to Seattle, ain't you?
Yeah, he installed the helipack.
I can see that. I taught that idiot brother of mine everything he knows. Look, if you want some real hardware, I can fix this little feller up with a thruster pack. Ooh.
Will it help us get past that weird lock by the fighter garage?
Ah, you know about those gizmos, huh? Well, it sure as heck will. It's got a real special power slam move built right in.
It's a good thing I need this to get to that jet, or you'd be out of luck, pal.
I swear to God, the Big Al brothers are really handsy on the... Well, we need the thruster pack to beat the game, so you shouldn't even have to think about this. Just pay him 2,000 bolts.
I've got it. I'll have you fixed up faster than a horny toad a-hoppin'. Well, there you are, little buddy. Better than new. That's right. I am the man.
Yeah, not bad.
I swear, I really do swear that he's kind of like one of those guys. I'm just going to show the thing off before I actually do anything. But I don't really like the thruster pack all that much, but I'll talk about that in just a bit. But one of those things where you get like a computer technician to come round to fix something, he turns the power on and off and fixes it, and he charges you like 100 quid. That's basically what this seems to be like. He spent all of 2 seconds fixing Clank to get the thruster pack. Anyways, press triangle to fly the jet plane.
Press the square button to fire the machine guns, and press the circle button to fire off homing missiles. To go faster, hold down the X.
This area is really gimmicky, but I really do love the jet fighter missions in Ratchet and Clank. Very simplified. They do get, I'd say probably do get a little bit better in Ratchet and Clank 2. There's a lot more stuff to do. It's a lot more, you can get upgrades, you can change the paint of the ships and stuff. But one thing I want to know quite quickly is, if Ratchet has the pilot's helmet and he can pilot this ship because he has the pilot's helmet, why does he need Clank to fly the ship they stole from Quark? I don't get it. Because surely if he has the pilot's helmet, he can control any ship using only his forts. So, unless his forts are so blinded by rage that he can't bring himself to control the ship, then I don't understand that whole logic. But there you go. It's Ratchet and Clank. I'm thinking far too much into it. These guys are basically the giant polluters. They're the ones polluting the sea. I'm not quite sure how that helps with the infestation of the... Get out of my way. Of the sewer sharks, but... The thing is about the sharks is, you never see them. Because there is a skill point where you need to go into the water and destroy all of the crates under there. It's called Buried Treasure. But you never see any of the sharks under there, so I'm not quite sure where the whole shark thing came from in the cutscene. It sounds like, oh, it's a bit of an epidemic, they've got sharks everywhere, and there's like one shark in the cutscene, and that's it, and it's not actually in the proper level. So I think they kind of missed a trick with that. You can, of course, use the missiles if you want. If you run into the vehicles you're trying to destroy, it won't actually destroy your ship, unlike in in future levels. It does do that in future levels. If you run into something bigger than you, it'll destroy you and you'll fail the mission. Kind of annoying, but there you go. And last one, you can use the rockets. I'm just going to show you how to use them. Get the target locked on and then shoot it out. But I like to keep all of mine for a little celebration.
Well, I guess that should do it. Here you go.
It's about time.
Oh yeah, got the O2 mask, as in oxygen gas, but not oxygen the element, because that's wrong. We can actually do quite a lot in the game. One thing we want to do, which actually hasn't got anything to do with the O2 mask, is to head all the way back here, and if you look up in the sky, this was actually the area we were just fighting in. When you saw all those blog sources up there, this is where they all are. You want to come here, or somewhere around this area, and get out your fizzy bomb. We're going to do skill point 1 of 2 here. We're going to leave the second one until a little bit later on. It is possible to get it. Oh, got one. Okay, that's something I'm going to mention, but it is possible to get both of the skill points first time round, but you're gonna have to come back, and you're gonna see why in just a bit. So you may as well wait until then because the skill point becomes a lot quicker to do. So, but the thing you're going to do here is you're not going to be able to hit these guys head on. You're going to find it very difficult. So what you want to do is, when you get close to a ship, press circle and the Fizzy Bomb will self-destruct. So, you know, they're all like frustrated electrodes in this game. Yet another Pokemon reference. I'm in a very Pokemon mood. Okay, so it's a shame I'm not LPing Pokemon anytime soon. So, oh, as a spoiler, when I head back to the start of the level to go into that teleport, I had to go to the sewers. But that skill point's Alien Invasion. I always found that title a little bit strange because technically everybody in this game's alien. So really, can you call it an Alien Invasion? Because if Ratchet, every time Ratchet goes to a new planet and destroys all the enemies, technically that's an alien invasion, isn't it? Because technically he's an alien. But then is Clank an alien because Clank's a robot? But then I guess, on the other hand, you could say, well, he's made by alien technology, so then, on the other hand, he is alien. I'm not sure. But anyways, every single sewer area in this game seems to have amoeboids in. They're basically the staple, under the ground in the sewer system kind of enemy. Which I find really weird because the sewers is all full up with water. And one quite fun thing to do is, you see how you've got a big body of water here? If the amoeboids fall into that water, they'll die instantly. It doesn't matter if it's a big one or if it's a... I'm going to have to put the Hydro Displacer in my quick select. It doesn't matter if it's a big one or if it's a small one or a medium one. If they fall in that water, they will just disintegrate. So, why they all hang out in sewers, I really don't understand. But, and believe me, it's not just the once. They do hang out in the sewers in quite a few games in the series. Most notably Ratchet Clank 3. You know, every time I mention interconnectivity with the series, I always mention Ratchet Clank 3, and there's a reason for that. By the way, first trespasser solution, out there 1 you want to go right 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Left 5 in the middle, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then in the inner you want to go right 3, so it's 1, 2, 3. There we go. But yeah, Ratchet and Clank 1 and 3 have quite a lot in common. They have a lot of references to each other in the games. And a lot of planets are shared. Ratchet and Clank 2, I'm not sure if this is just because it's in a different galaxy, but Ratchet and Clank 1, Ratchet and Clank 2, and Ratchet and Clank 2 and Ratchet and Clank 3 don't share much in common in terms of references to each other. There's not a lot of enemies shared, there's not a lot of characters shared outside the main ones. So, I don't know, maybe they tried to take things in a different direction with Ratchet and Clank 2, and then they thought, we'll bring back the tried and tested for Ratchet and Clank 3. And I think that's why a lot of people, including myself, prefer Ratchet and Clank 3, because it's so much like Ratchet and Clank 1. So you get all the lovely references of Ratchet and Clank 1. Again, remember, there's actually all that water. Ooh, you hit me. You're not allowed to do that. I'm the player! You're not allowed to kill me. You know, the longer you keep attacking me, the longer this LP is going to go. Which is the longer you're delaying the inevitable. Because I'm not just going to cancel the LP. So, you know, if I was you, I'd just die. Because, you know, you're just delaying the inevitable. There we go, they're all taken care of. So, I don't actually like the thruster pack, and this is something I was going to say about before. But, you know, I digress. The thruster pack's controls, I think they're a bit too loose for me. I'd much prefer the helipack's controls. The glide feature of the thruster pack, I'm not a big fan of that either. What you can actually do is just do this and you can get up on the platforms a lot easier. I also don't think vertically, I mean, if you're going horizontally and you're trying to do for speed, then the thruster pack is by far the best option. But if you're trying to get like maneuverability and you want to get higher with your jumps, you kind of need to use the helipack. Because it does go higher from jumps. Okay, so outright you want to go right 3, so that's 1, 2, 3. Middle you want to go left 4, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And inner you want to go right 4, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, this is like a clock, it's like 12 sides, so if I go right 4, that's the same as going left 8, so just keep that in mind. This area is kind of pointless to us at the moment. We will get something from it later, but for now there isn't really a lot we can do here. You're going to see why in just a bit. There's actually a skill point which I mentioned earlier called Buried Treasure, or I believed I mentioned it earlier. I mentioned it in passing anyway when I said we could get it, but we're not going to. We're going to get a upgrade for Clank yet again, and that's going to allow us to swim faster in water, and you can see all these crates under here which can explode. If you don't have an explosive crate there, you can't blow it up because you can't use weapons or your wrench or anything like that. So we're actually going to get that at the same time we're going to get something which we need to come back to this planet anyway. So we may as well do the skill point then, because I want to try and make this as easy as possible, which is why, for example, for God's sake, for example, on Iridia, people ask me, is it possible to do the skill point transport with a blaster? It is possible. It's a lot harder. I'm not going to say it's impossible. It's not impossible. But if you get the Devastator, you can do it in about 30 seconds. You need to go back anyway, so you may as well wait until you get a weapon like that. Final Trespasser solution, and this is the end of the route actually. The end of the route's on the other side of the door. So, right 3 for the outer, so it's 1, 2, 3. Middle, it's right 6 or left 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And inner, you want to go left 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there we go. That's the end of the route, and enjoy the cutscene.
Hey, what are you doing here?
I'm searching for a very elusive and secret substance.
Raritanium?
Maybe?
The oceans on this planet are said to be an excellent source of that element.
Well, not anymore. All that toxic dumping has obscured any trace of it. You will find Raritanium for me.
No, I will not.
Piece of junk. My latest invention, the Persuader. I intended to use it to control minds, but, well, the only thing it's gotten me so far is a discount from Gadgetron vendors.
Hey, I could use that.
Well, I'll trade it for some Raritanium.
I believe planet Hoven is a source of that element.
Our long-range sensors do not detect rarity on this planet. Our database indicates that the best place to locate this mineral is on planet Hoven.
You know how I was talking about how there's lots of references between Ratchet Clank 1 and 3 in terms of characters and planets and all that stuff? That character there, he reappears as well under a different name. It's the same character sprite at least. It's called Fred in Ratchet Clank 3. Yeah, another reference to Ratchet Clank 3. He's not in Ratchet Clank 2 though. You're probably wondering what I'm doing now. Well, you see, if you come along here, I believe it's this one. If you jump here, you will be able to see, come under the water, there is a pathway just here. I was a little bit off, but here we go, it's here. So just head under the water. You need the O2 mask or you're going to suffocate before you get to the route. This route is for the gold bull. There's one gold bull on this planet, it's got its own route, so, you know, doesn't it think it's special? So, head up here and jump on here. You will need the thruster pack, so that's why I haven't changed back to the heli pack, even though I much prefer the heli pack. You do get a lot more height with the heli pack, you really do. But you see these buttons, you're going to need the thruster pack, and I don't feel like changing between thruster pack and heli pack every 5 seconds. So, one thing about this route is, it's actually a lot easier just to run through. You can just like do that all the way through. It's a lot easier than actually trying to do it. Probably there's pufferfish everywhere. It's quite difficult to get all the way through without getting hurt. It's possible. Again, it's one of those things that's possible, but I wouldn't really... I would... If I was you and you're running low on health, just run past them. Don't bother trying to attack them. But considering I'm not that bad for health at the moment, I should be fine. So, let's try using some long-range weaponry. Time for a little devastation. I really don't like this planet at all for this route. This route's the only reason I don't... I'm saying I don't really like this planet at all. I do like this planet. This planet's good, but I don't like this route at all. I don't like the pufferfish at all. Hate them. See what I mean by running away? It's probably the best option, to be honest. Just attack them from range if you can. If you can't, then really just try your best to run past them. I really don't recommend doing these things head on. A lot of people find this planet a lot easier than I do. I mean, one thing you could try and do is just oops, did that wrong. So one thing I could try and do is just head up here. Again, I say I'm not very used to the controls. That would be a lot easier for me to do with a heli pack, but again, not used to the controls. There we go. So you could just like jump along here, and then you've skipped like half the thing, and just keep running along here. And then you could just jump up here, and you've skipped like the entire route basically. There you go. That's the Cytopus's main attack. Cytopus used Psychic. Do it again. Do it again. Yeah, I love that. So you just jump up here, and then you've missed like half the level out. So that's kind of cool. I will go back and I'll kill the other enemies because I really feel I have an obligation to do so. But that's probably the easiest way to do it. Use the waterways. Best way to do it, most effective way to do it. You'll miss out on quite a lot of bolts, to be honest, but really, it's that or dying, to be honest. So I'd recommend the not dying option. I think the not dying option is probably the best option. So I think I overly moan about this. I think I make this out to be a lot worse than it actually is, but I don't like this route at all. As you can see, there are things everywhere here. The Visi Bomb's a good one, actually. I'm going to show you the Visi Bomb, because that's actually a good one to use on this route. I'm taking a lot longer than this route actually should take, but just going to show you. How did I miss? I went through his head. I went through his head. Okay, there you go. And that's basically the whole thing taken out right there. Again, I could do the same thing here. There you go. Very easy. I wouldn't recommend using the Visi Bomb ammo too much because it is 100 bolts a time, so, you know, that's kind of a lot. And we're in a recession. We're in a galaxy recession, so, you know, conserve those bolts, people. Conserve the bolts. Oh, why not? Let's treat ourselves. One more for the road. Why not? Boom! There we go. And that's actually all the enemies on the route taken out, I think. There might be one or two on the very top, but let's jump up. Again, it's one of the things where it's actually better. I'm going to say, I bet you I can make that jump with the heli pack. And since we've actually done all the button stuff, we can actually just, you know, change back. There! See? The jump is a lot higher with the heli pack. And, yep, there were about 2 more enemies left. Ah, die. Okay, float. Why not? Float. Okay, there we go. Gold Bolt, 1 of 1 on this planet, and I believe that is Gold Bolt 19 of 40. And that is the end of Planet Pokitaru. That last route took a lot longer than it actually should take, but you know, I'm being conservative, I don't want to get hurt. And if you want to see, you're actually here. Remember this area? This is actually where this is. So you can just head back to your ship from here. Pokitaru overall, good planet, like it a lot. Not my favourite planet. Especially don't like that Gold Bolt route, but you know, maybe I'm just whinging a little bit too much. Then it's not actually that hard, to be honest. But I like a good whinge. You know, I'm English, so I like a good whinge. And there we go. So we're just gonna head back. The next part, for all of you who are wondering, is actually a backtracking part. Yet again, we've got lots of backtracking parts at the moment. It's actually technically 3 backtracking parts in a row, because we are going to the Nebula G34 to pick up the Gold Bolt we couldn't get last time. And then we will be going to Planet Battalia, somewhere we've already been before, but that's for a pseudo storyline reason. You don't actually have to go back there at all. And then there's Planet Orxon, which you do have to go back to. So 3 backtracking parts in a row. Pretty good going there. Okay, so next time I will see you at the Blog Tactical Research Station, the Nebula G34. See you then.